So we started off in the same exact way as we ended the season by qualifying ourselves to the Champions League with that win against Verona in the last game of the season. And we begun in the same convincing way, 4-0 against Fiorentina. What a performance. I didn't watch the full game. As you know, I was on the plane. And all through the plane, I was like, what's the score going to be as soon as I land? What's it going to be? What is it going to be? A big defeat? Is it going to be a big win? It could be a draw. I reckon it's a draw. I reckon it's going to be a draw. Fiorentina have improved and all of that. And then I land and I turn my phone on and boom, 3 goals from Malen, 3 assists from Paolo. Pizzilli scores the fourth. Roma destroy Fiorentina, and I'm like, what happened? Surely it's not possible. And then I rewatched some bits of the game, and yes, it's possible. What a performance yesterday. Dominating, genuinely destroying Fiorentina under every single point of view. A very convincing first game, a very convincing first win, which again shows to you what and how I was ending last season. This group is a very good group of players. You cannot like everyone. In fact, it's normal to not like everyone because not everyone in this group of players is an amazing football player. But even doing that, you respect that all of them play their part. And I think this is something that now we cannot move from accepting. This is, even with the additions that this summer brought, is a healthy group of players that wants the best of this football club. And this manager is a manager that gets the best out of them. Now, again, let's hold for a second. It's the first game of the season, honeymoon period. Everyone wants to perform. Everyone wants to, perform in the first game in front of the fans. So it's still very early days. Of course, it's only one game, 37 more games to go in the league. But you get the point. I don't think many teams would have destroyed Fiorentina 4-0 in such a way yesterday in the first game of the season. I don't think I don't think any other team would have a striker like Malen who scores 3 goals like this. And not many other teams can have, when fit like this, a Paulo Dybala who, as I repeat, when fit, is the best player in this league, even on one leg. And these are all facts that after now 1 year of Gasperini and now we're starting the second year with him, you're accumulating and you're noticing that when these facts repeat, they become certainties. And, we're not going to win every game. There are going to be drastic defeats. There are going to be dark moments. There are. But starting like this, for me, is a very, very, very strong signal. Starting like this, with such a mentality, with such an obsession and will to perform like this, shows that the players want to send a message. And they want to send a message potentially saying, don't count us off. Don't count us out of this race, because there are teams that are more prepared than you. There are teams that are better than you. And these are all things that remain despite this win. But nothing hides the fact that this has been the best game and the best performance of the game week. And that we played a great game. I mean, there were moments of yesterday's game. Again, I didn't watch the entire game, but the bits that I saw Atalanta in 2023. Again, remember, playing like this manager wants his teams to play requires time. You need to back him. And you're slowly moving in this direction because you're backing him more and more often. And with this, you've got the players that year after year after year are becoming more automated in his tactics and in his system. So incredible press, incredible intensity, and incredible fluidity. Fluidity amongst all of them, fluidity especially amongst Bobby Malen and Paulo Dybala. 3 assists from Paulo, 3 goals from Malen. They literally started off like they ended. I read that 7 no, sorry, 6 of the last 7 goals that Malen scored came from Paulo's assists. They know, they feel each other, they like each other, they move each other, and arguably we've got one of the best duos in the league. Arguably, because again, there are gonna be periods this season where Paulo will be injured or will Malen will hit a wall, but they play well together. Rodrigo Mora, Adem in that trio. Played great yesterday, again, played 60 minutes, had his chances, had his movements. Gasperini praised him incredibly well in the post-match interview. Clean sheet. Cristante played a good game. I'm not sure if a lot of people will accept this, but Cristante played a great game against the Fiorentina, which is a Fiorentina who's completely different. New manager, a lot of new players. Ken will probably be sold to Como, but a Fiorentina which definitely wanted to start in a better position than last year. I'm not sure they did so very well because they got absolutely demolished by us yesterday. What next? I think now you need to repeat this. I'm very boring when I say this because it's what needs to happen. You will not be able to repeat it in every game, but if you play like you played against Fiorentina yesterday, you're going to beat a lot of teams. We've got the Champions League draw in a few days, which will be interesting to see who we face, to see where we will travel around Europe and who we're going to get as the giants of European football. And then we've got Lecce next Monday, which is, again, one of those games that we will speak about, but one of those games that you cannot, by any means, underestimate. I'm going to keep it short because, again, I didn't watch the full game. I was on the plane. I saw that result and I'm like, I can speak about the result even without having watched the full game because I can picture the performance. I can picture Gasperini's diktat. I can picture the attitude and the obsession of wanting to start well from the players. And of course, when you've got Malen who scores and Paulo who assists, everything gets easier. Speaking about Paulo, just before I leave, he's living a great moment. Preservation is the key with Paulo Dybala this season. You do not want to repeat the same mistakes as last year, as the year before that. The key is preserving him. Now, I'm not sure if Gasperini drugged him, made him undergo a special medication, a special treatment, a special preseason. I'm not sure. I'm not aware. If that's the case, great. But otherwise, preservation, because he's still injury prone and he remains injury prone. But having a Paulo Dybala like this could be the reason you can potentially one day say that you're an official team that challenges for the league title this season. Very early to make these claims, very early to say all of this right now. Just enjoy the performance, put the game away, focus on the next one, because this is how you start well. And most importantly, this is what good, successful teams do. I'll speak to you soon from my new room, my new studio here in Canada. And Forza Roma sempre, Simo.